motion, but I'm so indebted to this game that I love, and most of all to the man above. Now check me out, now it's just that Fridays was serving the greens. Before I was popping, I was nursing my dreams. Now I ain't never been a gangster, but I know a few things. I just rather get the bag and start collecting the rings. But I done spoke too much, close curtain and scene. I am not a human being, I'm a full machine. I ain't holier than thou, I don't judge, I sing. Just staying down for the come up till I reign supreme. Let's get it. Yeah, Hit Boy, we got another one. Ha. Man, y'all boys ain't ready for this, man. I'm still grinding, I'm still hungry, hungrier than ever. I feel unstoppable, losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible.
It's week 8 of the NFL, and we've got Myles Jack. He was all over the place last week with double-digit tackles and a sack. It's the Steelers and the Eagles, and it comes your way next.
Opened back in 2003. Have a look at the link. Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, you look at our featured team here. They know coming in they've got to be at their best because they're facing one of the better overall defenses in the NFL.
And this is not one of the better offenses around in terms of running the football. So they understand that they're going to be put to the test a bit. The big plays in the run game, they haven't been there of late, so maybe that means we'll see them shake things up a little bit. Some RPOs, some touch passes, some draw plays, anything to try and gain a little bit of momentum.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Devontae Smith now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. This first drive looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be second down.
Well, CD, you see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and these guys, they've been hearing the mantra next man up since their Friday night light games in high school. It's 3 simple words, but they're absolutely perfect to use, and everyone has adopted them.
14 yards, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
He'll decide to keep this once more. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop. The Eagles at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Palardy now on to punt as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Here come the Steelers for the first time in this game with their free agent signing at quarterback, the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
A first carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. And, Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing here, Trubisky. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Now it's Trubisky. Again, it's Johnson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Going for Boykin, but it is intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. He's at the 50, 30, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick 6 TD.
Well, mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick six.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
Taken in at the 3.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession.
In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again. That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. From the 45 on 2nd down. Trubisky going for Boykin, but it is intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick six TD.
Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. And what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Olszewski now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Now it's Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive.
And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit. And they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Short one here, complete to his tight end. 0-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he stopped immediately there. No gain that time. It leaves him with 3rd and 11 going out. They're backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Trubisky. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th.
Already up 2 touchdowns. How about that drive killer of a sack there to add to their good play? This offense coming away with no points now when some kind of score was desperately needed.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. They find some open field here. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Yeah, boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact, and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Got him in. It's Brown. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw again. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They'll run with Sanders. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead. So 20-0 now pending the extra point, and this place is jumping.
Yeah, you can feel it, can't you? You can also see it. You're seeing people in the stands now excited, happy, high-fiving each other, and expecting this score to continue to mount.
Elliott now to have the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So that drive goes a full 80 yards and 10 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Olszewski going to hold on to this one. Touchback. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Here's Trubisky. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They go play action with Trubisky. They'll roll him out right. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. Now Trubisky. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be second down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Coming up on 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37, 1st and 10. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Back to throw again. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Again, he'll drop to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Palardy. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes. This is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for the Steelers in that first half. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
From the 22, Trubisky. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now Trubisky to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there. And there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that take this to the 15-yard line. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field. He wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
Yeah, boy, and it's tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down. Touchdown, Eagles! A 9-yard touchdown Brown, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complementary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Buying time to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Trubisky. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. From the gun, it's Trubisky. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And he will have a Steelers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Now a first down carry for Harris. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. From the 5, 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 5-yard line.
On the give, this is Harris. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. And I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. William Jackson with a pick. And the Steelers are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. So it'll turn over when we get back. You are one of Philadelphia. After the interception, here's Trubisky. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. And that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Well, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it, play or you don't.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
Second down, back to Sanders.
Room here to run.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he's got some space here. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
And defensively, you're going to have some guys with hands on hips looking to the heavens right now. You've got a fairly clean shot at the quarterback here, but he's able to worm his way out of that initial contact. And not only that, he's able to hot-foot it downfield for good yardage.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. He'll drop to throw.
Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Eagles add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up the secondary all game long, and this time that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and added another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have, because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
On 1st down, Trubisky. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense. That entire team, but really this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you use the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
After the sack on first down, Trubisky. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. The Steelers on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. Trubisky will throw. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Right back to Sanders on first down. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
Second down, here's an option right. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down.
Finds Pickens outright.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Here's Trubisky. And now here is another interception.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
2nd down, back to Sanders.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They'll go again with Sanders. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Philadelphia, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10.